He always did very well in math. Like his scores were very high in math, but his reading scores, there was a very big gap. So it was actually his GT teacher that said, there's something up here with Johnny because there's just too big of a gap between his test scores. So that's when we knew we needed help. He was tested at the school. We almost qualified for help, but he didn't. We weren't really sure that would be the right kind of help for him. So we just started asking around, and we had neighbors that had been through your program, and they had just a ton of success. So we went, and Johnny was tested and tried it out, and the environment was fantastic. We could tell that just from the start. So we signed him up, and he made it through the program, and he loved it. I mean, I never had to fight with him to go. I never had to struggle to get him to do the homework. He really loved all of it. We have him do this blog just to practice his writing and his spelling. We thought that would be good practice. And then with the spell check, maybe he would learn spelling and whatnot. But we would have to go through and correct it with him, and there were just so many mistakes. It was really sad. But now, after having been through the program, we don't have to check it. There's maybe one spelling mistake, but not even that usually. And then he can self-edit. He goes back and fixes the punctuation, and it's been a really big improvement. So we've seen, what we wanted from the program is the spelling and the reading improvement, but the program also, I mean, as everyone knows, it works on other things like his processing speed. So we always thought he was so fabulous at math, but he kept getting, his teacher would say, he needs to work on his facts. He's not fast enough. So he had issues with processing speed, so even though he was great at math, it would take him a long time to go through those quick little multiplication tables. So we saw improvement there. We also see it with his speech. He's always had speech issues, and that's improved as well.
What would you, if there's a parent who's trying to find help, for a child who's maybe struggling in school, what would you say to them or recommend to them?
Well, definitely go in and be tested. I think that people will be surprised and fascinated how you break down the different functions of the brain, and where they might think there's a weakness in one area, but there's actually the weakness is somewhere else. And so it's kind of hard to self-diagnose until you learn just all those different functions. It's really fascinating. If I could go back to school, I'd probably study it because it's really interesting. And like I said, I always thought it was just the spelling and the reading, but then when he was tested, there was a processing speed issue. I think there was some memory issues too. So just working that every part. And you did focus for me on the spelling and the writing too, which I appreciated because that was my biggest concern going in. But kind of got a well-balanced training there, and it was fun.
Awesome.
And he loved it. So, and he loved his trainer.